Well, hello guys, welcome to another with Zimaleta. This is my house as it is right now, and today finally we need to go ahead and wrap the house.
Hey guys, today is a house wrap day. Basically I got a huge 15-foot tall roll of material to actually do the house wrap. It is that stuff that you see people put on plywoods, like contractors use whenever they plywood the whole house. So it's time to basically do that. The reason I got this with me right here is this will help you determine how much of the material that you actually want. And basically what I have done first, I actually walked all the way around the house where I'm going to be, well, I actually rolled this thing all the way around the house to determine how many feet I actually want. Because I want to, just kind of like unwrap as much of the material as possible so I could actually use it on the whole house and I don't have to cut it, until I actually get ready to actually cut the material. And in the roll, it's about like 150 feet of the material. The roll is pretty heavy, and the thing about it is it's going to be very difficult unrolling the roll and stapling at the same time, unless you got like a lot of people holding and you got a really tall house, which is not in my case. So I have picked this hill right here. I have measured up until this point. This is the 132 feet that I'll actually need. So I'm gonna unroll the roll all the way from top of the hill and cut it off right here. So guys, I have unrolled this house wrap, 150 feet of it. I decided not to cut it because I only need 132 feet of it, and it's actually like a little bit less than that, probably like 10 foot less. So I figured it doesn't make any sense because I'm going to be actually cutting it down some. It is actually 15 foot tall. I'm going to need about a little bit less than 8 feet of it, and the rest I'm just going to wrap up. So that's what I'm going to do. And now I'm going to drag this piece all the way to
The house. So we decided to just go ahead and start at this portion and just go ahead and take the rest of it around.
Anyways guys, we are at the corner of the house. There's a road right there. We have chose to start wrapping on this side. This is going to be our starting point. So I'm going to show you that we took it all the way around the house and it's completely unwrapped. It's going to be a lot easier to work with it like this, and once we staple the whole thing, we could cut off a rest because that stuff is going to be exactly 15 foot tall, and whatever length is going to be left over, possibly like 30 feet of it, we could use for other project. We are not going to wrap this section, it's just unnecessary. That one's already done, but we are going to fix some of that stuff there on the roof, and obviously it needs a lot, so we're not going to be even talking about that now. But we will be doing a siding on the complete house after this goes on. So we're going to finish right here, going to cut it off and wrap the rest of it up. So as far as the windows goes, you might be wondering, how are we going to wrap the windows and maybe cut them out if you're doing it for the first time? Obviously, if you're not doing this for the first time, you're probably thinking, what the heck is this guy doing? But I am doing this for the first time, so I'm trying to share my experience and what I've learned from it and that kind of thing. So when we're gonna come down to the windows, what we're gonna do is, once the whole house is wrapped, everything's stapled down, we're gonna basically cut from corner to corner and corner to corner. Some of these windows only have like a couple screws. Basically all of them are. So possibly I'm either going to remove the whole window, tuck it in, or I'm going to try to slide the triangles, if there's enough room, to slide them in between and then staple them shut. Of course, ideally, probably best to do the house wrap before you actually install the windows. But in our case, this is already 1st of December, probably not ideal situation. So we're going to try to either do like one window at a time, which is easy. It's just a couple screws, pull it out, because all the hard work has been taken care of. Hey guys, I'm not sure how the pros are doing it because I really didn't look it up, because it seems like really common sense, but this is the way I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to actually not put the line exactly on the corner here. I'm actually going to probably a couple inches overlap it this way, and that's basically to kind of like help out in the next situation when, if I'm going to be doing this, it's going to overlap it a little bit. I just think it's going to be a good idea, because if you don't do this, you're just not going to have the opportunity to do it again. So I'm just going to overlap it a little bit. The first staple is down, so consider it a scissor cutting ceremony. Easy, very, very easy.
As you can see, guys, it's very easy to try to do this. By the way, guys, if you're wondering like what is this material kind of made out of, it is pretty much the same stuff as tarp. It is not really cheap. I believe I paid like 90 bucks for one roll. There is some rolls for like 150 bucks. But this stuff is like, you know, like even at $90 a roll, 150 feet of it. If you kind of think about it, guys, if you really need a tarp, just for whatever reason, this is a good idea to just get this. I've seen people sometimes, you know, like throw like tarps on the leaky roof, but this actually would work, I think, really well because it's an actual tarp. It's just very, very, very long. It's probably not gonna look in the back, you know, good in the back of your pickup truck, but you know, then again, like why would you need this much to actually put on the pickup truck? But as far as like houses goes, it's really cool. It's definitely rain resistant. So my wife is a lot of help here. She's been helping me with the whole build, just doing a lot of stuff. It's really good to have a second hand. As far as nailing it, guys, you could do it several ways. You could either use those like nails with like an orange type of caps and stuff and individually nail it, or you could use a nailer, which would be like more expensive type of setup, or you could just use a stapler. And that's actually what I'm doing. I paid, I think, like 40 bucks for this stapler here. I know it's like unbelievable. It seems like it's pretty expensive, but it is really light, and you know, it definitely gets the job done. So I think after a while of like hammering and stuff, like you want something that's actually really light, so you're not gonna get like really tired. So that's why I actually bought this choice. I also bought an electric stapler to staple the same type of staplers for those type of situations where you don't have a chance to swing. You just actually want to simply like put around the windows, and you don't want to actually hit the window. I actually got one of those electric staplers as well that same day, and I think that cost, I can't remember, maybe like 50 or 60 bucks. But anyways, guys, if you're wondering like what is the spacing for trying to nail this stuff in, basically it's like you could do like one stapler every foot pretty much. So if you got an area like 4x8, you would have like 4 staples on top and 8 at the bottom and stuff, and then of course in the middle you have to do some as well. So you could just come down and staple those like pretty much every foot, or even like every square foot you have to like staple in every corner. I think that's the way I would call it, but I'm probably not making any sense for some of you guys, but either way, like it's not like I'm counting here. I'm pretty much just stapling away, guys. It's like I'm trying to just keep it even, but look at me, just boom, 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 boom. You know, it is really simple to do that. But I guess if you're trying to be conservative and not use up a lot of staples, then you might want to kind of like eyeball your spacings, and that's pretty much what I'm doing here. About every foot, I'm actually hitting it. So if you do it just like this, it's gonna be fine. I decided just not to go with the nails. It would be a lot slower, and I just don't see like why would it be necessary to even do that. If you're wondering, guys, how long it actually took us to do this, this actually took like less than a couple hours, you know, to staple everything in. It really went really fast. So I even got a chance to cut out some windows a little bit later on in the video, to just try to basically see like how it's gonna be. Some of the windows I left uncut for a reason, but basically the front windows I went ahead and cut them out, and it's really easy to do. They say this staple has carbon fiber. built in. This is why it's so expensive, because they use carbon fiber. And that's probably the case. It does not really feel like it's a really expensive product, but it definitely gets the job done. It did not jam up on me, so that's a good thing. But anyways, guys, wrapping this house is a piece of cake. One thing I do want to mention, it is not 15 foot tall. I don't know like why I keep saying 15 foot tall. I confused it with something. So it's probably like more like 12 feet tall, which is a lot more reasonable. So basically wrapping it around, guys, is pretty easy. Plus you could see the windows right through it. It's kind of like a little bit like see-through. So as you could see that, so it's really easy like not to actually hit the window. And it turned out to be pretty good, guys. Just wrapping this thing, it's just not a big deal at all, So yeah, like you just have to like basically keep hammering it, like, and obviously having something light does work good. Now of course, with the lights on stuff, you can remove the lights and just go around it, like put a little hole, and then of course install the light. But I just decided to just kind of like let it hang a little bit over there for now in this video, and just cut all the excess off, and pretty much it, and then just wrap this side. It's definitely like pretty simple, guys, like once you do it. So I'm going to be showing a lot of videos just doing things like this, and hopefully it could encourage some of you guys to maybe do this for your own self, or maybe even do some jobs like that for somebody. There's got to be good money into doing some renovations and stuff. I think if you watch some renovation type of projects on TV, you could really make some good money. So over here, guys, I'm gonna show you like how, like what I was talking about, like cutting it like crossways and stuff. I just kind of like thought this makes sense. This is why I'm doing it this way. I did not see anybody do this, but to me this makes sense. Like, why would you cut it on the outside if you could just fold it in and like pretty much have better moisture protection? So that's actually what I'm doing here. As you can see, it goes like really fast. It's pretty much like you playing with it, pull the window out and just cut it and that kind of thing. So over here, guys, I wanted to slow things down because it is really speeded up. Like it's a little bit faster than the normal type of time lapses that I do. So this is how like normally like it takes. Look, I'm not like really rushing. I'm just steadily like doing it, like cutting it, folding it in. And you don't have to be exact like with cutting. As long as it's going to fold across, you still have to cut off the excess. So it's really simple. So I just kind of like develop a pattern, either going clockwise or counterclockwise. It does not matter. And this is my electric stapler, guys. It works perfect for these type of situations. It's also by DeWalt, pretty much. It's also kind of like light. It feels really cheap and plasticky, but it does the job, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But it's really nice, for being electric and just work, I'm usually like using like air gun, and air tools and stuff. But look, guys, it does not take really like long to staple everything. There's no like rocket science to it. Just staple it in, fold it in, cut off the excess, and before you know it, it's done. You just move on to the next window. So I just gotta do this bottom pretty much, and go ahead and get my knife, cut everything off, fold it in. There's really nothing to it, guys. It's really easy. So if somebody haven't done this before, I'm pretty sure you guys could do this after like watching this video, even though this is like pretty much not exactly like how-to video, but this definitely gets the point across. I mean, you could really see like what I'm doing. It's real simple, for this, like no special explanation like necessary. But the whole purpose of this little section, I mean, look how long realistically it takes you from the time you actually cut it to the time you staple everything and to actually install the window. It's really like not a long process. And a window installation is really easy. I don't really see like why I would like to pay somebody $189, which I was quoted, to install a single window. So if you have a lot of windows, that could be a really nice job. So I'm thinking, if I could get like a job where I could be installing windows for $189, man, I guess I could quit my day job doing that, because man, just to do like one house a week, man, that could be exactly the same or more that I actually make on my Sprinter van doing expediting. But guys, right after this type of work, when I actually you know, like work and install stuff, you know, I get tired and stuff just like a normal human being, and then I like to relax, and then I go back to driving and reading books, and kind of like wondering what the future holds, making plans. And once I get home, I start executing these plans. I just basically didn't just keep going and going and going, and I don't have to really put like too much like effort into thought as far as doing that. But basically, guys, as far as these windows goes, like you can see, like it just pretty much takes about like 4 screws. Once you put them in, it's done. Like your window's done. There you go, guys. That job is complete. So time to speed things up, get the stuff really you know, like ready and fast before my wife gets home, because she went actually kind of like to the store, and I decided to do these 5 windows. So anyways, guys, this is it. This is the end of my video. Thank you so much for everybody for watching. Thank you so much. Please hit me some likes.